Hi there, welcome. I'm Coach Tanya, the holistic health practitioner here at Critical Bench. And did you know that there are 3 things your doctor isn't telling you about prenatal vitamins? Hi, okay. You're gonna have a baby. Yay! It's a very exciting time. And you've probably gone out and you've bought all the books and you've made doctor's appointments and you're doing all the right things and all the things that every new expectant mom does when she finds out. Now, your first prenatal visit is very exciting, and you're probably going to have a lengthy conversation with your doctor. And I strongly suggest you have a list of questions. Go in there heavily armed with questions, and you have that conversation. That's what they're there for. And you always, every time you go in for follow-up, always go in with your questions, all right? But here are 3 things that more commonly your doctor is not telling you when it comes to prenatal vitamins, because that's one of the first things they're going to probably mention is they're going to write down, you need to get yourself some good prenatal vitamins. Okay, great. And that's where the conversation stops. So here's what they're maybe not telling you. Now, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt that there's probably many doctors out there that are much more thorough, but I have oftentimes ran into and been out visiting with girlfriends, and they're just like, yeah, so I'm taking my prenatal vitamins, and I'm like, really? What are you taking? And how? And they're just like, I don't know. I just grabbed this one because that's what was available, and I just taking them. Okay. So here's what your doctor isn't telling you. Eat first. Do not take those on an empty stomach. They typically tend to be very high in iron, which can be very hard on the stomach, very hard to digest. Get some food in there first. Now, if you're struggling with morning sickness, this can be very tricky. So if that's the case, you probably have a sort of a time frame of where your morning sickness is worst when it hits you, and in that moment you're probably not eating, okay? But once that passes and you're in that phase now where you can handle a bit of food, get that food in you and then take your prenatal vitamin. It's going to be a lot easier on your stomach. It's going to be much more easily digested, and it's also, taking a prenatal on an empty stomach when you're having morning sickness is just going to add a little bit of fuel to the fire that you don't need. So eat first, all right? Number 2, if you are increasingly nauseous, okay, and it's not changing, you're finding that, you get up, if you're a morning, you take your prenatal in the morning, you have your breakfast, you take your prenatal, and while you're not really having morning sickness, you just find that there's got to be some connection because you feel fine, then you eat, you take your prenatal, and you're nauseous every single day and it's getting worse. Try changing the time of day, all right? It may sound really benign, but sometimes it's just the time, where your body's better tolerates it. So you might do better with that prenatal in the afternoon, and you might be better with it in the evening. I don't know. It doesn't really matter when you're taking it, but that you're taking it every single day. And if taking in the morning is making you sick, then don't do that. All right. And number 3, if it doesn't matter, if you change prenatal brands, if you change the time of day, if you're eating first and you are still getting and staying very, very sick, then you need to get in to see your doctor, because they might be able to recommend something like a different prenatal, one that maybe requires a prescription. Maybe from the days when I had my children, there's much more available. There's some that are lower in iron, because for some women that's very hard for them to tolerate. They just don't tolerate that level of iron very well. But it's definitely, if nothing's working, if you've passed the morning sickness phase and you're doing, you're eating the food, you're taking the prenatal, and you are very sick and very nauseous and you're throwing up a lot. You're doing things like that, you're losing a lot of fluids. That's going to affect baby. So don't let it go. Don't just think, well, it's going to get better, it's going to get better, it's going to get better. You need to get in and see a doctor right away. You need to discuss the problem, and he will be able to recommend something that is going to be much better for you, or come up with some other You know, maybe a prenatal might not be the exact way to go for you, but it might be that you require 2 or 3 separate supplements that you can take that your body tolerates much more easily, that baby tolerates and gets all the benefit from. So 3 things your doctor's probably not telling you that you need to know about so you have the best experience for your pregnancy. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you click over here to subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up and leave us a comment below. And click here for a free stretching report. And check out this video here too. I know you're gonna love it. I'm Coach Tanya at Critical Bench. Have an awesome day.